Guys, welcome to Colouring Book Club. Thank you for being here this morning. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, let's bring up the chat. There we go. Rightio. So we're colouring Dark Fairy Tales, Part 3, Puss in Boots, page 80, 81. I used Light Wish oil pastel for the background. I used Black Soot Distress ink for the cat. And I'm about to use some Limies. So let me see what colour will we start off with. Cat's black boots. Oh, use some greys. Okay, here. Start off with some silver grey, 002. Oh, this should be a string. It's going to be a stinker here today. Very hot. I've also got the black prisma there as well. Good morning to you, Cass. Or good evening to you. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well and you had a good week. Now, this one is Payne's Grey 508. And a little bit of French Grey 30% 803. And just a little bit of Prisma. What's happening, girl? Have you been doing some art? Yeah, just finishing watching figure skating. Oh, yeah. Love the Olympics. Hate it when it finishes. It's good. You put it on in the morning. It's on all day, all night. And then when it ends, it's like, now what am I going to watch? Oh, that's the Prisma. I'll add a bit of French Grey 808 into the mix for the soles of the shoes, boots. I need to sharpen that a bit more. You were colouring all afternoon. Oh, what more could you ask for? Doing some artwork and got the Olympics on. A little bit of Payne's Grey. I think that's 50%. No, it might be 80%. 507. Back to French grey, 30%, 803. I swap my pencils that much, I forget to tell you what colours they are half the time. I don't know what sort of weather you've got, but we have a stinking hot day here today. Extreme fire warnings across the state. Payne's grey, Flyboat 8. Just going to mix and match up the colours. This is just a Prisma black. Don't know if you can hear that noise in the background. Well, I've got my fan going. And also it's windy out there. We've got a northerly. And that's when it gets really hot. Silver grey, 002. French grey, 808. Silver grey, 002. And a bit of Prisma. That's the silver grey. The page is looking great. I love the cat. So do I. It reminds me of a Russian blue. It's long haired. We have rain every day. Oh my god, send it over, girl. We need it here so bad. It's just, we've had hardly anything over summer. Dams are really down. And it's terrible at the moment. That's one boot done. Oh, fans blowing hair in my face. Yes, a Russian blue. Okay. Second boot. French grey, 30%, 803. I'm just going to get those two bits of string that I missed. I had to think about what I used. State. I take my bling drawer. And I just used, if I remember rightly, I think a Signo Gold. Get off that, you'll smudge it. and I used just a bit of Sharpie gold, I think. Doesn't matter if they're different colours. Might not have been this one, I think it might have been the copper. Like copper, bronze. Doesn't matter. Right. We're just January for years, and now February. Oh God. So that's where all the rain is. Wonder where it went to. Uh, that French grey 30%, 803. So what is it? Have you in Canada, Cassie? If I remember rightly, I think someone the other day in chat said they were from Canada. I think. Oh, you're in the UK. I can't remember where everyone's from. It's impossible. I tried. Okay, I had a guess. Well, this one is French grey 808. Trying to read the writing above is pretty pointless because it's not in English. French grey 508. I've been having a ball making my tags and clusters for my spooky journal. I mean, it's turning out so cool. This is just a black prisma. Try and get some shadow and define those two boots from each other. I also have the cat black, so I wanted to define them from the cat as well. Oh, I had a guess. Page Grey 507. Yeah, I love him. He's cool. What is, yeah. When's back to you, girl? Thank you for being here today. What sort of weather have you got? Hazzy's got rain, so she's pinched all the rain from us. We're getting nothing. A very hot day today. 37 degrees Celsius. Whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Bloody hot. Sending the hugs out. Hugs back to you too, Katie. Hugs to everyone. Cold and sunny, but no snow. It is 43. Funny how they like the differences in like Fahrenheit, Celsius. Why can't they just have it the same worldwide? In Celsius, of course, because that's the only one I understand, and that's the don't understand the Fahrenheit. That's like measuring as well, and the metrics and centimeters and meters and inches and back in the old easy days. I'm kind of avoiding this cat a little bit too, because I know how much bloody work the fur takes. Now, I've done that. Make sure I can see that sole on that boot. What's this one? Plains grey. I don't know if that's 60 or 80%. I cannot make that out. 507. My eyes are shot to pieces. French grey. 30%. 803. Now, I can make that out, the 30%. I've got a loose hair, and the fan keeps blowing it across my face and into my mouth. I've got my hair tied back, but I need to retie it because I haven't done it since I got out of bed. That boot's a lot lighter than the other one, so I need to darken it up. Maybe if I add a little bit of black. Um, French grey, 808. Sometimes I just like to smudge the colours in a bit. Get rid of the pencil lines as well. Hey. But windy, yeah, it's windy here too. The page is coming along nicely. Thank you very much for you. Are those people outside or inside of the cat's tummy? You sorry, tickle. Oh, tickle in the throat. Um, that's up to you. Would you like them to be inside or outside? I'm not sure because you've got the cat. And then they've got this sort of halo, smoky, whatever it is around them. So, yeah, good question. Maybe you did eat them all. Use the guts if you did. Like, not sure if the bunnies aren't looking too very, they're not looking alive. They're not looking very good. Yeah, I don't know, actually. It's whatever you want it to be. My guess is inside. This is a freaky page, but I like it. I love this book. Typical Kirby words inside worlds in other books. Laugh out loud. Yep. You're saying yep. I'm saying yep. I don't know the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit. I didn't pay attention in high school. My 45-year class reunion was this year. Oh, that should be fun. Awesome. Still haven't started on my Googling books from China yet. Yeah. I haven't worked in mine for about a week. I want to finish the 5 pages that I started, but I had to take a break. Once you start, you two in it haven't got a challenge on who can finish the book first. Oh, I've been working in Mouse Guard. Oh, that's a cool book. I so want that book. I can see both. I love asking good questions like that, Leon. I also ask because you see how the cat is looking at the folks. Well, if he's looking at them, they can't be inside. Unless he's got one hell of a tummy ache because he ate too much. No, I think it's a world within a world. It's good how he's done it because you can make up your own story. It was like I did that tag that I showed last week, and I did that poem on the back of it and made up that story. All right. Oh, the boots. I haven't. Didn't do the song. Oh, this chair. But it's comfortable. All right, let's do this guy. I will start off with some French grey 808. I put this on just in case. I did use workable fixative for the background so it wouldn't move, and it seems to be doing pretty good actually. But just in case. sepia 50% 906. Good morning to you, B. I just thought about you that very second. I turned around and there you are. And they are looking at him laugh out loud. Yeah, I was just thinking while I was doing his hair, it looks like he's begging to the cat. It's like, please let us go. No, I don't think that's going to work. He looks teased. No way, I'm not letting you go. I'm far from home. I'm looking. He's got hard it. Exactly, he's awesome for that. Well, this meant to be a fairy take of some sort, so might be interesting to find what one. Yeah, it's Puss in Boots. So at the back is all the definitions on Kirby's take on the book. A man inherits a cunning cat, the cat that acquires a pair of boots, promising his master of his worth. And anyway, and you can pause that and read the rest of it. I won't read it all out. But anyway, yeah, he's he's a cunning cat. So yeah, at the back is all the stories. I can't stay just lurking for a minute. Have stuff to do today. Sent you a quick message, and I hope you're all well. Hope you're well too, B. Hope everything's okay. You sent me a message. All right, hasn't gone off yet. He's a genius. Oh, he's fantastic at what he does. Yes, there are several folk tales and children's stories where a large magical cat swallows people or animals, and they survive inside his stomach. Example in the Danish folk tale, The Fat Cat. Okay, there you go. You googled it. Hope everything's all right, B. It's going to be a fair bit of brown and greys in this. The rabbits are hanging like they're not living. The bird's upside down, so he's not in a very good way either. Well, no, not that one's a got. This might be a bit of a. This is just sepia 407. Is French grey 10% 802. Where's that one? That's the thing I'll use. That black, that belongs to the base. I use sepia. Where's the other one I used? Doesn't matter. I was just going to try not to have. I mean, back in the day, their haircuts were like that too. They had really straight fringes. I'm just going to check on the cat. I'm not sure what that was. What are you doing? It's in the bathroom, in the laundry. That's all right. Got the front room. There's not much you can get into, but you just never know with him. If I hear a bit of a strange noise, it's like, what are you up to? I might do his feather blue on his back. Love these colours. Thank you, Kaz. Let's see what it looks like when it's finished. Good morning to you, Diane. Hello. I'm here watching the babysitting the grandkids. So mum and dad are both get home from work. Today is President's Day, so it's a federal holiday here in the US. Cool. Doesn't sound like you're getting much of a holiday. Won't be chatting, but watching and listening. Sneak one in if you can, or when you can. What I use? Grey blue 755. So many pretty choices. They've got the same name up the top as they have down the bottom. Blue something. 135. I don't know what that is. And ice blue 185. See, what is that? I cannot make that out. I don't know. I find it getting worse. Wouldn't surprise me. Bloomies. Blue Denims. That's BLEU space DE space NIM M for mum ES. And they've got the same name up the top as they have down the bottom. So I want to keep the number in case I get the name wrong. Now it's some light straight. Things are okay, and I'm just busy with doc's appointment and stuff. And then was that ultrasound test and stuff to make sure I was good and my daughter is off work for RSI. Oh no. Yes. Everything, fingers crossed, will be all good, be. She finally got approved for work cover claims, so I have to take her to get paperwork sorted and stuff. Yep. Hope you both go out, have a coffee or lunch or coffee and cake or something. Sounds French. Yes, it does. I have to colour with a lighted magnifying glasses. I'm very long-sighted. You need, you need. I've got these. These are readers for up close. God, I never thought I'd. Look at that. Some people, a couple of people try and go, oh my God. And it's like, I can't believe, like, the fantastic eyesight I had as a kid. Well and truly gone. Well and truly. And then my other ones. So, all right, hang on. So these are my readers. God help anyone. Yeah, they're pretty magnified, and I can't see. It's like I've been crying. My eyes are all blurry. I cannot read chat. It's just a blur. And then these are my long distance ones. Look at that. And now I've got my readers on, and I'm looking through that. And look at that. Like, magnified. That's crazy. It's funny how, like, different people wear glasses, but then you try their glasses on, it's like, oh my God. And then they try yours on, and it's like, oh my God. And then when you put them on, it's like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I wear these all day, every day, and I probably shouldn't, but, and then I walk out the door to go up to my neighbours for a coffee, or like I did yesterday, I went and picked up a parcel. Um, and I walk out and go, oh, I've got my wrong bloody glasses on again, or I start driving up the road and it's like, oh, I keep forgetting to change them over because I've got these ones on so much. Because I'm always doing artwork all day. And so if I'm looking at the tally, I really need to swap them over to my long distance. This one is blue denims 135. And the first one I used, which I nearly knocked off the table, these are Loomies, can't do that. Light cobalt blue 661. Then I'm moving on to ice blue 185. Grey blue 755. Yeah, B. Absolutely, gal. I have bifocals now. Well, that's what they probably should have given me. Someone said to me, I ought to get bifocals. Well, I never thought of it, and I wish they had suggested it. Because then I just had the one set. I nearly lost my glasses when we went to art shopping last week. That was. I didn't go into panic mode. Usually do. Because a car could have driven over the top of them, but luckily when I got there, it was on the island where the trees, so they wouldn't have driven over them. And luckily they were just sitting there. I normally can read all of the sight charts in the opticians. Oh, yeah, those days are long gone. I used to love it as a kid. I saw it as a challenge to get as small as possible. Now it's just like I just want to fill up in a ball of brine. I've been long-sighted most of my life. Now I'm both. Yeah, eyes change as you get older. Oh, they certainly do. Absolutely. It sucks. I'll go back to the dark one. And then back to the light one, which is light cobalt blue 661. Be nice to go and get rid of these black lines, but I wouldn't do that until I'd finished everything, and that'd be a final touch, but I'll probably forget by then. This will probably take me a month of Sundays, you know that, right? And next week, it's Christmas. um, mm, browns, ready browns. What browns will I use? Actually, you might be okay. You might be okay. Oh, there it is. There, that's the one I used earlier. I think sepia, 50%. That's what I used on his hair, I think. So I don't want to use that one again. I'll try these three. Yeah, but it was fairly cheap too. Just not transitioning ones. They make me sick, but the bifocals are great. Oh, okay, dog walking. So have a good day, or we'll see you for part 4, hopefully. Thanks for stream. You're welcome, Cassie. Enjoy your dog walk. I hope you walk him and he doesn't walk you. I'm sorry, it makes me laugh. Well, it should be the dog turning around the human. What is? Want to go for a walk? And take the human for a walk. Drag up the street. Mm. Stupid old cow across the road had a corgi, Sophie. She's a lovely dog. Take her for a walk and she'd pull the whole time and stupid cow. And then I'd take her and she was pretty good. But if she kept pulling and she carried on at other dogs too. But if she did that, I'd just make her sit and then proceed. And if she started again, I'd make her sit and then walk on. And she'd stop pulling and stop carrying on like an idiot with other dogs. And it's like they want to go for a walk. But if you're going to carry on, we're not going to walk, we're just going to stay. So they learn. It's like, oh, this is no good. We're just sitting here. I don't want to sit. I want to walk. Stop pulling then. I didn't either. This one's sepia 407, which is what I used on his hair, but that's alright. Now, I need a lighter colour. I'm just going to use the black for a minute. You don't belong in there. This might be a bit too light, but I'll try it. And that one is brown ochre, 50%, 836. It's a bit light for what I wanted, but you can use a lighter colour. And then you go over with a darker colour. And you have a new colour. Did you know that? Yeah. I'm just being silly. I still want that darker around here. Alright, what colour will I do? Suppose I'll do his skin. A lot of earthy tones with Loomies too. And it's still in the brown, but they've got some good pinky colours. Burnt ochre, 10%, 872. Laughing. Yeah, naughty. I'm not strong enough to take her myself, so Cam takes her. Now, when I've got Bess, I put her on the lead, and she was a pup, and then I started, she was so good right from the start. And then when I took her, when she like grew, she was, bigger. I put her on the lead and took her for a walk up the road one day, and oh my god, she surprised me. She didn't even try and pull. She was excellent. She was so good. I was like, well, that was easy. But when I was a kid and I had my Labrador, I used to try, like, and I'm talking like a kid, like very young. I used to take him out the back and train him how I knew how to do that when I was, like I had him from, I've got photos of him when I was like, I don't know, not even 18 months old or whatever, sitting with him at my mum and dad's, mum and my mum and dad, my mum's parents' pet shop in Ferguson Street in Williamstown and out the back, and I've got photos of me with him. But yeah, when I got older, so I don't know, 6 or so, used to get out the back with him and get it, no, not real good, but make little hurdles up. I used to jump, make homemade hurdles out the back, and I used to do laps around the back and jump over hurdles and get him to jump over as well. And then I'll be back in a sec, guys. But yeah, I used to get him out in the back and make him sit and then walk away. And we had a big backyard, and I could walk away. He would not move until I called him, until I told him to move. He would sit there and he'd watch me. And I'd go up, start small and get further and further away, make him sit and stay, and then call him and he'd come, make him sit, and then get further. So I could go up, walk around the back of the shed, come back, he'd still be sitting there waiting. He wouldn't move. He'd wait. Knew his road rules. He'd sit at the gutter, look left and look right before he crossed over, make sure there was no cars. He used to love carrying, if I went to the shop to get the newspaper or whatever, he'd love carrying the mail back from the letterbox or carrying the newspaper back from the shop. Like he was good. He was a big boy most of the time. And we went to the drive-ins one night. Remember the days of the drive-ins? Yeah, I think it's Staffy thing. All the training goes out the door and excited. Yeah, no, that's gotta instill that. Um, yeah, we went to the drive-ins one night, and it was daylight saving, so we didn't get home till really late, like nearly 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And the side gate was open. I was like, oh shit. Anyway, and he come home. He knows because yeah, he knew where it was, like walking. And it's good when you take it for a walk. We had either the one block we go around or the double. And so if they ever got out, that's what they'd do. They'd go and track their smell and whatever, and they'd go up and it would lead them back home again. And they just, yeah. But anyway, we got home. And it's like, oh shit, the side gate's open. And he wasn't there. I was like, uh-oh. Anyway, it wasn't that long after we got home. He got home and he was a golden lab. But when he come home that night, he was a black lab. And he'd been down the bloody Strand in Williamstown and all the shipping and everything, fair bit of oil in the water, a bit disgusting. And oh god, we had to bloody get warm. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. Lucky it was a warm night. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm washing. He'd gone from a gold lab to a black lab, and we had to get all that crap off him. Oh my god, we should have killed him. That's not, he should be in bed. But anyway, he'd had a good time, obviously. Yeah, you can step here a bit. Try not to use it. It's that other one. Cassell. Cassell. It's Cassel. So it's either Castle or Cassell Earth 046. Depends how you want to pronounce it. It's totally up to you. But yeah, you come home all right. But I don't know how the side gate got open. We were responsible that our animals didn't get out. Um, but somehow or another that side gate had got open or something. He would have protected me with his life. He was. Mum and I used to play fight. He'd go up to Mum and put his mouth around her wrist, and she'd grab me harder and shake me or whatever, and he'd firm up a bit. He never broke the skin or did it, but he very protective of me. And yeah, he still had his nuts, so when they get neutered, they're a bit more subdued. But yeah, he still had his nuts. This one is brown ochre 50% 836. Funny, I keep going with the same pencils. What's that loud? Oops, his poor puppy. Oh, he had a good time. He'd been, I mean, Labradors are a water dog. Yeah, he'd had a good time. He's swimming down the stream. But when he come home, ah, that's not a bit stuff like that. That's all right. We'll just lightly put a bit of shadow in there. Shading. And go over it again. Blend it in. Don't know. I think I want that just a little bit done. Oh, yeah, that's what I was using. Brown, I knew that. Brown ochre, 50%, 836. And it is like that with me. If anyone yelled or lifted her hand, she's on them. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, Mum and I used to play fight. And Dad, that's enough. You're going to end up in an argument. It's like, yeah, we keep going. And sure enough, the bloody told you they cut it out. So if he really put his foot down, well, they're like, yeah, whatever. And we keep going. And then, yeah, Dad was 6'2" in his day when he stood up, like in his prime. Um, Olive brown, 50%, 736, and Alito, deep voice, very placid Leo. But yeah, he cut it out, you're going to end up in an argument. Yeah, we keep going. And of course, we don't. You end up in an argument. And bloody told us, cut it out. Now, if he really put his foot down, it was like, no, like, just using black felt pen. I really like that, like his eyeballs, the expression. Please let us go, you mean mumble of a cat. Yeah. Supper in your jocks, pal. I've gotcha. Let's bring that in a bit more. Alright, so he's got a blue feather hat. Maybe I did get this bird overdone. More greys. Well, you don't see purple, orange, and yellow birds, and I mean, you do see coloured birds, but you know what I mean. More greys, more browns. There will be colour. There will be more colour. I've got a lot to do. There'll be colour. Yeah. I've said it before in past streams, and I have that. I just one of the funniest things is with dogs, no matter what size, and you see them hauling someone up the street, or like whatever. It's like try a 2-year-old thoroughbred colt that's having a tanty. Like you're looking 600 kilos of horse or whatever compared to a dog. I just think it's so funny. Because if horses knew what they could really do, their strength, and they can pull on leads and everything as well. And you don't want them doing that. Any horse, not just thoroughbred colts, whatever, but any. The strength of them. You look at the Shires and the Clydesdales and that, you could be looking at 800, 900 to a ton of horse. And if they start pulling you around, you've got a lot of hope. But with the proper training, I would never think about doing that. And if something spooks them, or they get excited or whatever, a quick check and they behave themselves. This one is French Grey 808. Um, uh, was a friend, but she had she called him, his home name was Tacky. He was an angel at home. He'd jump on and ride him or whatever, and then on race day, take him to the track. Oh, holy shit! He was one of the worst horses I think I've ever seen. He was a thoroughbred, and he was that bad. You couldn't lead him around the mounting yard. I'm telling you, he was just that excitable and that stirred up. He was, he was bad. Um, you give him a quick check or whatever, and rearing bits are pretty savage, but they keep him in check. I'm telling you, that was not going to keep him in check. You used to have to get the clerk of the course, which is the guys in the red coats on the horse, come and take him and lead him off the other horse because he was bad. Oh my God, did he chuck? Oh, yeah, he was really hard to handle in the mounting yard. Always had a bruise on the hip. The horse always tried to bite when getting on if you let the rein slip. Look, he was the grumpiest horse. Yeah, he was a Palomino. Yeah, I remember you saying in the past but getting on like that, I've got to admit, wish I was with you back then, be able to give him a massage. He was hurting. He was hurting. I was talking to a guy the other day, something, we were talking about different things and farms and him growing up and his, nana and his, he used to go to the farm and all this and different things And I said, yeah, no, he said something about horse, and I said, do you know anything about them? He said, oh, a little bit. He said, oh, we had them on the farm, had one on the farm, and yeah, yeah, I know. Back in the old days, tie them up by the bridle and just give them a good old, the old fellas, give them a good old slap. They won't feel it. Well, their skin is an eighth of an inch thick, and let me tell you, their nerve endings are very sensitive, and they can feel it. So that, like, yeah, I know a little bit about them, and I just look and go, yep, whatever, and I've been around them all my life, so, and, I'm qualified to massage and all that sort of stuff, so yeah, I am up on that, but just the attitude of the old fellas on the farms back in the day, and of course we were talking about also, which is not nice, but, if something's wrong with the animal on the farm, the dog or whatever, you don't take it to the vet, you just take it down the back paddock and shoot it. And horrible stuff, that added that mentality back in the even now, it still exists, but just that mentality, it's like, I can't stand it. But yeah, tying them up by the bridle, just go in and have lunch and just tie them up by the bridle, leave the saddle on from morning, noon, and night, no rest, and I won't bother them. They're all right. Just tie them up by the bridle, which is a real pet hate of mine. When I was massaging horses, we were doing our course, we went to the Royal Melbourne Showgrounds, and they had a thoroughbred sale on there. This guy was walking the horse around. I said, oh, what are you doing? He said, I'm massaging. He's like, oh, yeah. He goes, oh, there's nothing wrong with this guy. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. If you say so. Because that's pretty non-existent. You'll find something in every horse. Guarantee it. So anyway, my lecturer said, I'll bring him over. We'll check him out. This one's Moss Green 225. Anyway, she put her hands on him and she started to check him out and ran her fingers along his back and stuff. And this horse nearly fell on the ground. And he goes, oh my God. I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with him, is there? He was shocked. I was like, yep, there's nothing wrong. Turns out, yeah, there was. What happened? I don't know. Probably sold him at the sale or whatever. See, not running well, acting up, narky, nasty, biting, whatever, whatever's going on. It's like, oh, he's no good. We'll get rid of him. Well, I got to tell you now, your horse is in pain. There's something going on. He's trying to tell you, and unlike us, go to the doctors and it's like, oh, I've got an ache here, and it hurts when I move this. They can't do that. So their way of letting us know is like, you know, biting and kicking out and doing all sorts of stuff. We had when I was at the riding school, and I'm talking like not proper lessons and stuff. This was just you go there, you hire your horse, take it out, ride it, bring it back. I had one there, Cherry. She was nice. I looked after her for a while. She was a good girl. But the others, the girls, and I was always brought up sensible around horses. But where the girth goes around the belly, they'd get there and they'd scratch her. And she, with her teeth, and she'd turn around at you and she'd try to bite and, she'd arc up and that. And they thought it was funny. They thought it was hilarious. So, of course, they'd tease her and, and they'd do it again. They'd go up and they'd scratch her belly where the girth goes and she'd put her ears back and turn around and arc at them, And, yep, they thought it was funny. I used to hate it. It was just wrong. Obviously, there's something going on there. The amount of stories that I couldn't tell you, well, that was sepia. If you understand. There was a horse show on one day and went along and this young girl, she'd been riding a horse and it started bucking. She's a bit worried, she didn't want to get back on it. She didn't want to continue through the day. She didn't want to go into any more events or anything. And I was there and they found, I don't know, they got onto me somehow. said, oh, he's bucking. She doesn't want to ride him. I said, all right. It was lunchtime. So I got hold of him and given him a massage and checked him out. Yeah, he had some sore spots. And then after I'd finished massage, I said, get your saddle. So she got the saddle and she put the saddle on and she rode him out and he worked beautifully. And they go, oh my God, he hasn't worked like that. It was amazing. They were stunned. And I thought, wow. I had another horse that I massaged, and I always ring up a week later and say, how's things, how's it going, whatever. And they said he was doing flying changes, and flying changes is like when they're cantering, they've got a leading leg, and a flying change is when they're cantering and they go from one leading leg, and you see them sort of skip with their front legs, and they go from one leg to the other. And it's flying. So they might be going in this circle, and they've got the leading leg, and then they do a figure of eight, and they swap over, or they can go one way. And anyway, but yeah, they skip. You sort of can see them skip from one leg to the other. Not that's a different movement. That's advanced dressage. But yeah, flying changes is they're cantering along, and they go from that leg to make that leg the leading leg. Anyway, and they said, their horse don't flying changes. He's never done a flying change. And they were ecstatic. So, just things like that. Um, well, I think I've said this before. I went, during my horse massage course, they had this thing at, was it Flemington? I can't remember where it was now. One of the main race courses. One of the girls couldn't go, and I said, oh, I'll have your ticket, I'll go. So I went. It was fantastic. It was a good day. But they had like a whiteboard and screen and vets and all different stuff. And they put up, like, they had the white screen there, and they put up like slides or whatever. And it's horrible, but they had post mortem of a 2-year-old thoroughbred with a ball and socket that was non-existent. 2 years old, and the ball and socket, and there was no ball and socket. It had just totally worn. The socket had just totally worn away at 2 years old, and in the middle, where the where the bone goes, it was red raw from grinding. Because when they work them one way all the freaking time. They don't work them evenly. So it's like I got you on a lead and made you work this way constantly. You know, it's just you got to work the muscles, work everything, work the hips, work everything evenly. But this was a 2-year-old thoroughbred post mortem, so yes, that horse was no longer alive. At 2 years old, it was absolutely disgusting. And then people, like that guy at the showgrounds, there's nothing wrong with him. Ha! Yeah, right, mate. If only you knew. If only you knew. You've either bailed out everyone or you're intensely listening or whatever the case may be. uh, uh, no, I don't want yellows in there, but I don't know. Just pick some weird colours. I don't know. I like to try and be different sometimes. Maybe even, so it might be a bit on the orangey side. That one. Let's try that. Brown ochre, 50%, 836 I'm finding. Doesn't go with the same colour pencils all the time. Changing my mind now. And I'll do that, and I'll add some blue in on the trimmings and stuff. Seeing his feather in his cap is blue. He was older, and we were his third owners, so yeah, it's most likely the case. Oh, yeah, yeah, they're palming him off. Can't deal with him. And if you're inexperienced and you buy, you see a horse for sale, especially horse sales, auctions, and that, big no-no. Especially if you're inexperienced with horses, they see you coming a million miles away. Like, here comes a sucker. We'll palm them onto this. They know nothing about horses, knowing very well that they are actually putting you in danger. Um, if he's a real bucks rears and goes over, like they rear backwards and just they flip backwards. They're putting you in, they're putting you in life danger, big time. And that's not a good thing, but people don't care because they just want to palm it off because they can't handle it. And if they see someone inexperienced coming along, oh yeah, it's like cars, get problems with them. It's like take it to the auction or whatever. Get rid of it. It's going to be a problem. Get rid of it. Find some other sucker to own it. My boyfriend had a Kawasaki 750 motorbike. Oh, yeah, what happened? I don't know. Something happened. He was trying to fix it, and I can't remember something. The motor wasn't the piston. There was something he was doing. He was going to get the motor. I can't remember. Anyway, and the thread had gone. Could not get it off for the life of you. Wasn't going to happen. So we sold it, and the guy come, and he was such a nice guy. And we knew, it's a problem. There's something wrong. Big problem. Get rid of it. And this guy is such a nice guy. And I felt this, both of us actually, but I felt this big. This poor nice guy has just come and bought this bike, and he's in for one hell of a headache. Felt so awful because I'm honest. I'm not, oh god, I just think about that now. And I feel so awful. He's such a nice guy, and he was going to have a hell of a time. And I like that bike too. Yeah, this could end up being a really, no, I won't. No, 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 I won't. I was going to add blue on that. I thought it would be really weird colour, but anyways, I don't want to put blue on that though. I want the blue on the trimmings. And that one's really dark. That's really dark. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe some more blue. He's only a squire or whatever. He's not a king or anything. But there's the king back there. I just thought, no, I'm not going to do it. I just wanted to test the blue out on top of this colour, on top of the yellow ochre. Is all it is instead of it. Yeah. But I was really young, so I had no idea he came from a friend. Oh. So that's it. That's worse. That a friend could say you something, Yeah. Now, when it comes to animals and horses and things like that, putting your life in danger. If they're real, like I said, if they really do bark and you're inexperienced, then you can't, ride, can't ride it out or retrain or they're really putting a lot. People die from riding horses. They end up in a wheelchair or dead. Um, mm, yeah, it actually annoys me because, like I said, I was always brought up sensibly around horses. They're not something to muck around with, really. Um, so I said to the guy the other day, do you know anything about him? Yeah, I know a little bit. And it's like, mm, well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go out and just buy a sailing boat, and try to sail around Australia. I was brought up around boats. We had a yacht that got pulled into a million pieces and never got back together again. My dad was brought up around the water. Um, but I certainly don't know enough to go and get a yacht and, just sail around Australia. You just don't do it. Not unless you're stupid. Because, you know, you just don't do it. Get knowledge first. Years of knowledge, many years of knowledge. Some people just, I'm going to start motorbike racing, or I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that. Do you know anything about it? No. Okay. Yeah, suggest you learn first. I remember, I think it was one of the riding school horses, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Across from the riding school in Williamstown, there was like it was Williamstown Pony Club. So, you'd go there for the day and have instructors and get lessons and do all that sort of stuff. So we'd go and get the horses from the paddock, from the riding school, sell them up and go to Pony Club for the day. And I don't know, I don't think it was a riding school horse. It was a privately owned horse, can't remember. Anyway, like in the footy ovals, you get just this bar that goes, just a single bar that goes around the oval. It was one of those. We used to all work out in there and do our days in there. But one day there, I don't know, this little pony, I don't know what happened. He took off, he bolted. I don't know I can't remember what happened, but he took off. And he was only a pony. Like I'm talking 11 hands or 12 hands or something. He was a pony. And he's taken off. And this silly girl, I don't know if she knew better or it was just one of those things, but she had the bloody reins wrapped around her fingers. So this little pony's taken off and gone under the rail and he fits, but she doesn't. She, finger, ain't off. So one of the girls from the right Joy, she found the finger by rights. I don't know what she did with it, but they found the finger, took the girl up to the hospital, and I think they managed to sew it back on. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they did actually. Got it straight away. But if you ever find a limb or anything like that, if you can, you're gonna put it in a plastic bag and put it in with milk. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, you put it in milk. Anyway, I don't know what they did with the finger, but they found Joy found it. I know that. But yeah, finger. Wrapping the reins around your hands. That's a big no-no, as she found out. Just silly little things like that. I know a guy that worked when I was working with the potters and pacers. And I don't know what he did. It was before I ever knew him. I don't know what he did. Walked up behind the horse and he should have known better. I don't know what he was doing. But anyway, the horses give him a double barrel straight in the face. Crushed his face, crushed his nose. Looked like he ran into a bus. And his nose looked like he'd been in the boxing ring 50 times, like, yep, that was a permanent reminder. You don't sneak up on you always let them know you're there. You don't ever walk up, and especially if you don't know the horse. You either walk right directly behind them and put your hand on their rump and keep your hand on their rump and keep right behind them. So if they do kick, they've got no power. But if you stand, 2 feet out and walk behind, you're going to get the full force. Other than that, walk right out, well away, so they can't reach, because they can reach out a fair way. So you walk well away from them, especially with horses you don't know. But you don't even sneak up on a horse you do know. They don't know you're there and you sneak up on them. Well, that's their defence mechanism. You're going to get a double, you quite possibly get a double barrel from even the quietest horse. Because if they get a fright, you see in the ads, bomb-proof horse. No such thing. No such thing. Any horse can get a fright. Even the quietest of horses can get a fright. If you want to sneak up on them or do something stupid, make a loud bang and noise, you're out riding one day, next minute a shotgun goes off. They could get a fright from it. That's normal. If someone comes around corner and see you nearly jump out of your skin. Well, it's the same thing for them. They just got a fright. And then they have to get the blame, they do this, they do that, oh, well, what happened? Oh, well, we just walked up. Did you let him know you were there? No? Well, hello. Oh, God, I forgot his bloody name. Les. Yeah, he's Les. He got the double barrel. He had to face to prove it. Mm. And all his experience about horses, I don't know when it happened to him, or he didn't know him that well, but mm. He probably should have known better. I don't know what the circum. I can't remember. This is many, many moons ago. This was back in 1984 that I knew him, that I worked at the stables, and it happened to him way before then. So, yeah, but for friends B to sell you a horse that you're inexperienced and you don't know, and they're just, yeah, that's not right. That's wrong. Yeah, hated pony club. It can be good. It depends on the pony club and all the rest of it. I would suggest not putting a severed finger in milk or any liquid. It can warp the finger and make it difficult to react. No, you put it in milk because it preserves it. It stops it because you've only got a limited time and it shrivels up, and it stops infection. So when you reattach it, it's yeah. You put it in milk, darling. Not you don't put it in water. Do not put water. That's that no. You don't put it in water. That's why you put it in milk, so it doesn't shrivel up and go all funny and yucky. And so maybe the milk thing was a suggestion years ago, but not now. Yeah, no, you don't put it in water. Put it, yeah. And if you haven't got anything, well, a clean plastic bag you've got, of course we've all got plastic bags in our pockets. Well, maybe it has changed now. I don't know, but at the time. But yeah, you never ever don't put it in water. It will shrivel up and go all yuck, and it doesn't do that in milk. Got the doctor's on Thursday. I'll ask her. Um, just a little bit of warm earth. 748. There's lots of dark colour in there. Yeah, things change all the time too over the years. Once upon a time, it was okay to do it. Now they'll go, no, don't do that. Don't keep up with stuff. What else? Oh yeah, what was his name? Can't think of it. What was it? The writing school. And the girl that found the finger, she had her turn one day there. Probably after, I'm not sure. They had this little ponies can be little pricks, and I can't think of the horse's name. I don't know what happened, but anyway, he bit the tip of her ear off. Bit the lobe off. They got that up to the hospital. I'm gonna leave it grey. I don't know what to do with tags and that. How So maybe the milk thing was a suggestion years ago, but not now. Should be wrapped in a damp, clean cloth and bag, then put in that thing in the bag of ice. Yeah, as well, a damp, clean cloth. You can put it in a plastic bag and put that in ice. But if you put it in a damp cloth, it's going to shrivel up. You won't be able to save it. They won't be able to reattach that because when you go swimming and your finger shrivels and that, it goes all yuck. You have a bath too long or whatever, you don't put them in water. So yeah, a clean plastic bag, and then you can put that bag in a bag of ice, as long as that bag is sealed and the water doesn't get to it. But in a damp cloth, no, no, I wouldn't be doing that. You're gonna shrivel. Hope Pam's alright because she's not here. She was going in the hospital for a bit of respite. So I hope she's okay. See, I've got that many colours I'm forgetting. This one's French grey, 30%, 803. I don't want him looking perfectly clean. I want him looking a bit, bit drab, grungy. So I have no orders. My Stampers Anonymous stamps come in yesterday, direct from Stampers Anonymous. And I have no orders. No. Don't know what to do with myself. Gonna go buy something. Yeah, no. Oh, the dentist. I was livid. Oh, wasn't happy. It's only damp enough to conduct the cold. Well, if you've got ice, the ice does that. So I went to the dentist and sat in the chair and I said, just a checkup. So I did the checkup, proceeded, and it's like, he's proceeding to clean me. Thought, well, you won't be doing it in August. Can tell you that much. You're going to do it now. I've got my registration, car service, and everything in August. Do it now. You won't be doing it in August. I don't know whose dog that is, unless next door's got a visitor. Possible. Um, well, and he said, you need, because I brushed too hard and receding gums, and he said, you need to get them fixed. They're going to get worse, get deeper. I said, well, they're going to have to wait a few months. And I said, something, and he said, no, 6 months is all right. I said, well, good. So I go to reception, chatting away for a bit, and then she says, $250. And I said, what? She said, $250. And I said, oh, I'm not happy. Last time I come in, it was 180. I told him just a checkup. And she said, maybe he didn't hear you. And I said, he heard me. Oh, for God's sake. He heard me. And he come out and I said, no, I'm not happy. I said, just a checkup. He said, oh, generally we do a checkup and, it includes a clean. And I just looked at him, I thought, no, it doesn't, because usually you turn around, like everything's okay. We'll just give him a clean. And I'll go, no, not today. I was livid. He said, I'll knock it back to 190, because I said last time I come in it was 180, and they must have brought up on the computer. She had to have a look, and he said, well, I'll make it 190. He said, with your plan, I'll write out a plan for you for my filling, and he said 680. I'll do it for 450, and I said, like, I'm rotting my head. Oh, I thought, yeah, I told you just a checkup, and he proceeded, and I was gonna, pull him up and go, I said just a checkup. And I thought, no, I'll let him do it. I thought, I'm up for 180 bucks or whatever, but I'll let him do it, and then come August, he won't be cleaning them. I'm so and so. I'm just wondering how that goes around. Yeah, it's just weird how they're big down here and then they're small up here. Anyway, yeah, just greed these days. It's like, how can it go from 180 to 250 in 6 months for the same damn job? 20 minutes. A checkup and a clean. Okay, I have to go. Have a great week. Thanks for streaming here. To see you next week. Thank you for that little bit of a sort of bait beater. Anyway, yeah. Hopefully never have to worry about anything like that. Take care of yourself, girl. Have a good day. You and your daughter, and have some nice lunch or coffee or something. So I keep forgetting. Brown ochre, 50%, 836. These are for his coat. French grey, 30%, 803. Burnt sienna, 50%, 866. Peroline brown, 585. I don't think I've really used that one much at all. Carmine Lake, 575. Burnt sienna, 069. And warm earth, 70%, 748. I don't know if that is. It might be 70%. It's a dark pencils. Sorry, guys. French grey. No, I think that goes browns. I think. Yeah. It goes for browns, not the greys. Alright. It's royal blue. It's not royal blue though. What is it? Prussian blue. 159. Just in case I forget. These two are very similar, I think. Dark indigo, 639. Indian three blue, 649. I think I'll do it the other way around. A darker one. I'm not sure what the difference is there with them. I'm going to have a look. Um, Indian's red blue and the dark indigo is really, really dark. Uh, That's a dark indigo. It's almost like a dark grey. But then I put that other blue underneath. And then I'm going to use, so indigo blue, Prussian blue 159. Yeah, that's just a bit too dark. So I've grabbed out silver grey 002. And then I'm going to put Prussian blue over the top. Just on the pattern, so it stands out a bit more. And I think that might be too dark. Indigo might be too dark. We'll see. So I'm going to give the Indentrine blue 649. So now that's a bit too light blue there too. So once I put the Indentrine blue down, I put the light grey, silver grey, whatever it is. Silver grey on the top, just lighten up a little bit. If I put the grey on the top, the silver grey won't stand out at all. this bit down here is into the bulb. Right? Yeah, I think I can still fix that up a bit. I was doing that, now I'm back on this. I just wanted to touch it up a bit. I just think it was a bit too light down there. Right. To the other side. Once I've done that, I'll love you and leave you. Hopefully, see you next week. Focus, eyes, brightness. Voila. Wow, this side here. Move. Indigo, indigo blue, I think it's just a bit too dark. Oh, geez, we got a lot done. 2/3 of him and a bird. Oh, and a pair of boots. That's about it. It's 10 years later. Oh well, it is what it is. Take care of yourselves, guys. Thank you very much for being here today. And hopefully I'll see you next week. If not, have a good one. Guys.